Right, welcome, it's Monday, and welcome to episode 18. I hope you're enjoying this series so far. What we're doing today is on with making a couple of units for the kitchen. So this is the behind the cab wall, and later I'm going to be making the longer unit across the window and then down over the hobs. So 18mm MDF, if you're wondering what materials I'm using for this. This isn't the lightweight stuff or anything like that, because being an 18-ton truck, I don't need to make anything lightweight. In fact, I've got to make it the other way and put weight on the vehicle to get the suspension working, and also to get weight over the rear axle, because I don't want the rear axle light, because when I'm braking, I want the weight on that axle to make the tyres grip the road. So, and as you've seen in the previous episode, I've been staining these and then spraying them with lacquer. So that's what we're going for. So this is the first one. So we're going to take this in and try this on the wall now, and then I can get the measurement then for the unit across the window and then down over the arms. So, right, come on then. Right. I don't know whether I like the look of that. What's your thoughts? Maybe it's going to look better once I get the other units on, I think. This seems a little high. I don't know whether there's a waste of space here. I think it's time for a cup of tea and for me to sit down and have a look at that. I suppose it's all about what we're going to have on this wall here. I suppose if we've got a kitchen roll here, and then, I don't know, maybe a spice rack or something here, you're down to sort of like this area, aren't you? So that would be alright. Yeah, don't know. Right, I've just had Dan in here, and Dan is also a joiner, and we've been looking at the units. I'm not happy with them, and I just basically said to Dan, whilst I'm going down to Screwfix to pick up a couple of items, just have a look at this kitchen, Dan, and tell me what's wrong with it. So he's come and had a look. Anyway, we've had a bit of a chit chat, and we're going to alter the kitchen. Well, I'm going to alter the kitchen. Just the wall units, I'm just not happy with them. They don't look right, and I've tried to do something different. In eBay, we've got sort of like basically just the up and over and back down, and I think that works well. And I'm trying not to let eBay influence the other vehicle, influence me too much on what I think on this one, because this is a brand new vehicle. I want to do something new and exciting and so on. But yeah, I'm just not happy with it. So I think we're going to change the end unit for the corner unit going down the corner there. And then one thing what Dan's pointed out is we may just lift. I know you're supposed to have about 700, something like 700 from a hob, but I didn't want to lose the cupboard space. But Dan's just pointed out that this is slightly different height to that unit over there. So I don't know whether to lose around about 120 mil off this unit to make it look the same height as that one. And I think he's right. I'm going to agree with him. So, but thankfully, I knew this was going to be a problem, and I didn't spend too much time on making the units. It was just a case of get them quickly made, stick them up there, have a look at them, and then decide whether they're right or not. And that's why I've not bothered staining them or anything like that. But anyway, so the units are coming off, and I'm remaking, shortening this one and remaking the end one. So it's 8:30 on a Monday, and I've had a long day today. However, a few problems earlier, like we said with the kitchen units. We rejigged this one, made this one higher to make it the same level as the other side, and I've taken down the unit, and I've not redone that one yet, simply because we were spraying in the workshop, or Dan has been spraying in the workshop, and obviously cutting timber and getting dust in there is no good for spraying, so I haven't been able to do that. So whilst I've been basically waiting to redo that, I've been on in this corner, and apart from putting a cupboard door on, I've also got the tablet mounted here, as well as the Propex thermostat for the heating system. So this is connected up now, so turning the heating system on is as easy as that, and you can hear it firing up now. So it's set at 19 degrees. We'll turn that off because we've got no LPG in the system anyway. We called at the petrol station where I normally call for the LPG, and they were doing a 4-quart refurb, so yeah, we couldn't get any LPG, so that's knackered me up. However, another success is we've got some lights working off these. Well, not off these are the switches I got off Amazon, and I thought they were the right switches, but they should have been Wi-Fi, and they're not Wi-Fi. Typical thing you do, you search for something on the internet, and you say, you know, LED Wi-Fi switches, and it brings up the switches, and so half of those aren't Wi-Fi. So I ended up buying these, and they're not Wi-Fi either. So typical mis-search, I guess. Right, okay. Hey Google, turn on the dining lights. Let's turn the other lights off. Oh. Hey Google, turn off the dining room lights. Hey Google, turn on the dining room light. I don't know whether you can see me now. So that's working really well. And you can see now, this is the worktop. This is the pop-up socket as well. So if we've if you want to charge anything, we've got a USB and a USB Type-C, and then 2 power sockets. We are going to have a reading lamp off here, so that if one of us wakes up at night or something, you know, and we want to sit down and have a coffee or something, you know, we don't have to start talking to Google, and yeah, we can just walk in here, put on a small light, and be, you know, have enough light to sit there and chill out at early hours in the morning. So that's gone really well. Unfortunately, turning back on the main light, unfortunately, I only had one correct Wi-Fi switch, which is this one up here. So there are two mounted here, one for the plinth lights and one for the dining room lights. So they're not coming now till they're a special order, and they're not coming till November, something like that, 10th of November. Right, so whilst I've done that, the last half an hour I've connected up these sockets as well. Are the switches are Tuya, which is the eating switch we've got in eBay, and I've got another one of those, and that's just come today, so that's been fitted as well. So over there you can see the red and blue light, that's Wi-Fi connected, and that is now I'm warming up the hot water. I'm not going to let it fully warm up, and I'm going to disconnect the pump and everything because, like I say, it's 8:30 and it's way too late. So, especially to be messing about with water. But the taps are working, so we've got the cold tap, the hot side of it. This tap is really great as well, so you can pull out or you can change the flow of it, which is cool. And you can pull it out and, I don't know, wash the cat with it. In fact, for some reason, the pump's not on. Did I turn it off? Best just check that. But anyway, that's today's, the washing. What you can hear as well is the water going down into the sump pump, which is beneath the floor, and the water's actually going into the grey tank. I believe I may have to insulate that in sense of for the noise. So, but I mean, once we get the seating on there and everything, it is going to be a lot quieter. But I'd rather not be listening to that if we can. So, so yeah, maybe I insulate the tank. Maybe some of that. I don't know whether you can still get it. The stuff you put around hot water tanks, you know, the insulation stuff, maybe something like that. I don't know. I'll sleep on it. But that's it for tonight, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Okay, after the discussion with Dan earlier, this is what we've sort of like come up with, which is very similar to what we've got in eBay. Admitted the ceiling's much higher here. I think we've only got, in eBay we've probably got about 200 mil less in height. But the units do come down a little bit lower. So probably about the same storage space. I think we're going to go with this. I am going to put some shelves in here, and obviously the cupboard doors on here. I just wanted to get these on, have a look at them, and then if we're not happy with them again, I can destroy them and throw them in the skip and start afresh, if you know what I mean. Lighting pellet on here to go on, and like I say, the shelves. But I think that's going to be it. I think I'll just get Dan in for another second opinion and see what he says, but we'll see what happens, eh? Right, good evening once again. Busy day in the workshop today, and this is everything to do with the kitchen really. We've got the 3 kitchen units here. These are some of the doors, the shelves, and yeah, the doors for the fridge freezer. So I'm just about ready now to start staining, and then I'll lacquer. So the staining is relatively a quick process. We spray it with the spray gun, wipe it off with a cloth, and then we put that on. This is the drying rack. So we put the shelves on here. We make sure these fit first, and this is how we're going to set them out, and then we just go through this in order. And then I'm going to have to let it dry and then flip them over and do the other side. So the staining process is, we've got to do it twice, the same with the lacquering as well. The lacquer and that what we use in the stain all comes from a company called Werrell's, which is based in Sheffield. I think they're a nationwide company anyway, but the stuff's spot on. And the lacquer, given the right temperature, can set within 5-10 minutes. So if you wanted to do, you know, give it 3 or 4 coats within the day, you'd have it done in just a few hours. So it's like really good and really quick drying. Like I say, you can get matte finishes, you can get gloss finishes and so on. So this is going a really dark stain. The stain is actually black, so it's like virtually, it is virtually black. And then it's a 10 on the gloss side of things. So it's a gloss finish. Right, time to start. Oh, by the way, what we've got there, the extraction there, that sucks all the chemicals out through there, and they go out through the back. And I've just been running around with a spray, not the spray gun, but the air gun, just basically spraying and blowing the floor. So we tend to blow the dust, some of the dust that way, and then the rest of the dust this way, give it a sweep and then spray it again. So all the dust actually goes out through the extraction there. So hopefully there's no dust particles, but I mean, a joiner's workshop, there's always dust on the shelves, on the ceiling and everywhere. So yeah, anyway, let's see how it goes, eh? Right, good morning. We're going to have a look at the units this morning, and I did actually film these in the workshop with some lights on them, but I obviously didn't press record on the camera and yeah, didn't capture them. So anyway, so looking at the units now, I know it's very hard to see, but this is a blue-black finish. So I know I said it's black, which it is. But in the grain you can see there's like a bit of a bluish tint, which you get with black anyway. So the units, as they stand at the minute, are on the wall. I still need to get the handles and the locks sorted for them. We still need to do the lighting on the underside. But yeah, as you can see now, it is looking, the kitchen, in fact this entire area is looking really well. It just leaves me now to do, I've got to compartment this a little bit, a big drawer in the bottom there, underneath the sink, cupboard at this side, and then a couple of drawers here, along with a couple of drawers at this side as well. So I think we'll go for 3 drawers here, and then a cupboard down at the bottom. And then that's this area just about done. So the doors have worked well for the fridge freezer. These look really nice. And like I said, with the Google, hey Google, turn on the dining room lights. That's not working. I was going to say that's not working because the internet, what I had in here, is now back in our other truck. So and the internet here is a little bit shocking anyway. So that's working. Now, someone did point out about the Google. When we haven't got internet, Google will not operate the system what we've got. However, because we're using 2-year, so the switches are all 2-year, the water heater switch, the water pump are all 2-year switches, we can quite easily use the app. So you can go to the phone and use, turn the lights on and off, and use the app to do everything really. We're currently with EE for our sort of like internet provider. Now that has been alright all across Europe. However, the upload speeds can be left being desirable, really, especially when you're uploading YouTube videos, especially in Eastern Europe. We're getting some upload speeds around about 1 meg. So yeah, I think I can also see before we go up to Norway we will have Starlink, and yeah, it is expensive. I do agree with that, but you know, you can stop and start the monthly contract. So I think if we're going up to Norway for 2 or 3 months, I'll just pay for 2 or 3 months worth, and we've got internet all the way around there. So so there shouldn't be any problem with that. Still waiting for the switchers. They're not coming till early November. Right. Okay. Someone asked about the tablet as well. The tablet is just an Android tablet. I think we got it from Argos. It's a Lenovo or something like that. Just basically an Android tablet. I think they're about £110. I don't know if you can actually see that, but I got this special charging connection, which is just there. It just basically peeks out the side there, and that goes into an hole, goes down the back of the or down the side of the freezer, then goes into there. So it goes into the socket below. Now, it's funny. I mean, I'm used to Apple and iPads and so on, but it doesn't seem to charge when it's turned on. So you've got to turn it off to actually get it to charge up, which seems a bit strange, but I don't know. That's Android, and I'm not familiar with Android. So that is only a display. We cannot control the lighting with that or anything. That just basically replaces the Victron display. I think the Victron display, the large one, is about 7-inch, where that's I think 10.5 or 11-inch. So it's much bigger, much more visible and easier to see. But yeah, it's just a display. So on that we can just see the battery levels. We can see what solar's coming in, what power we're using. We can see the levels of the water tanks, and I think you can get the temperatures on there, so we'll be able to see the temperatures as well of the garage, the cab, in here, and the lockers, and maybe outside as well. So which I've got to get the temperature sensors. So yeah, I'm quite sure you'll agree. This area is starting to take shape. Like I said, a couple of cupboards to finish. The one underneath the sink and the one underneath the worktop there, which hopefully we'll get into them sometime soon. But I'm really excited now about doing this dining area with the table and everything. So that's the cream of the cream, if you like, to get that done, and also obviously getting it upholstered as well. In the back area then, really I need to enclose the garage now. The plumbing seems alright, the hot water seems alright. I just need to get the switch for the water pump and the relay, and now I can start looking at doing the wardrobes at the back there, up and over. Once I've done that, I can close the garage off and then finish the bed frame. And once that's done, I can then start doing the walls in this mid area here, which is, like I said right at the beginning, I was trying to work from the extremities right to the doorway just to make it easy, and that's worked well. Right, okay, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this episode 18, and it's really exciting because you can see all the hard work now coming together. Comments please, if there's any comments, let me know, and yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.